Commander Jack Porter stared at the dusty control panel of the ancient vessel they discovered buried beneath the lunar surface. His team of 5 stood behind him in the dim emergency lighting, their breath visible in the cold air of the long-abandoned ship. "How old do you think it is, Dr. Mills?" Jack asked the team scientist. Dr. Mills ran her scanner over the strange metal of the walls. "Carbon dating puts it at roughly 300 years old. But that's impossible. Humanity didn't have this technology 3 centuries ago. The discovery had been accidental. A mining operation on the dark side of the moon had broken through into a cavern, revealing the massive ship, nearly 2 kilometers long and unlike anything in Earth's current fleet. Initial scans showed it was made of materials not found on any periodic table." "Why would someone hide a ship this size?" asked Tom, the team's security officer. His hand rested on his weapon, ever cautious. "And whose ship is it?" added Lisa, their communications specialist. "It doesn't match any known human or alien design." As they explored further, they found the ship's systems intact but dormant. Strange symbols covered the walls, not matching any known language, human or alien. The ship seemed designed for a crew of thousands, yet no remains were found. In the central chamber, Jack discovered what appeared to be the main computer interface. When he touched the console, lights flickered throughout the ship. A holographic display appeared, showing star charts and what looked like battle plans. "Whatever this ship was," Jack said, "it was built for war." Dr. Mills studied the display. "These star systems, some of them don't exist anymore. They were destroyed in the Proxima Centauri collapse 50 years ago." As they continued their investigation, the team realized the ship contained technology far beyond current human capabilities, faster-than-light drives unlike anything they'd seen, weapon systems of unimaginable power, and shielding that could withstand direct hits from modern weaponry. Jack sent their findings to Earth Command, expecting orders to secure the site for further study. Instead, the response was immediate and alarming: activate the ship. Prepare for immediate deployment. Earth is under attack. The message included devastating footage. A fleet of unknown alien vessels had appeared at the edge of the solar system. 3 human outposts had already been destroyed. Earth's defense fleet was mobilizing but outmatched. "They want us to use this thing?" Lisa asked incredulously. "We don't even know how it works." As if responding to their urgency, the ship's systems began activating on their own. The main computer interface changed, displaying what appeared to be simplified operating instructions. "It's like it knows we need help," Tom said, his voice a mix of awe and suspicion. Jack made his decision. Earth Command wouldn't ask if they weren't desperate. "Dr. Mills, figure out these controls." "Lisa, establish a stable communication link with Earth." "Tom, search for weapon systems." As they scrambled to understand the ancient vessel, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that this discovery wasn't coincidence. The ship had been placed here, preserved, waiting for this moment. In the ship's logs, partially translated by Dr. Mills, they found fragmented references to the Guardians and the Return. One phrase appeared repeatedly: "When darkness comes again, the forgotten will remember." 6 hours later, as the alien fleet approached Mars, the ancient ship rose from its lunar tomb, systems humming with power that had lain dormant for centuries. The crew had barely scratched the surface of understanding its capabilities, but time had run out. "All systems operational," Lisa reported, her hands flying over controls that seemed to respond to her thoughts as much as her touch. "Earth Command is patching through battle coordinates." "Weapons charged," Tom added. "Whatever these are, they're unlike anything I've ever seen." Jack took his place in what they had determined was the captain's chair. The ship felt alive around him, almost eager. "This ship was left here for a reason," he said to his nervous crew. "Let's find out why." As the forgotten ship accelerated toward the looming battle, none of them realized they were about to uncover secrets that would change humanity's understanding of its own history, and its place in the universe. The ancient ship moved with surprising grace, accelerating faster than any human vessel despite its massive size. Jack and his crew struggled to keep up with the flood of information from the ship's systems as they approached the battle zone near Mars. "Enemy ships detected," Tom announced. "Counting 27 vessels of unknown design. They're firing on the Mars defense station." Through the main viewport, they watched as a human destroyer took a direct hit and split apart. The alien vessels were smooth and black, absorbing rather than reflecting light, making them difficult to track visually. "Earth Command is requesting our status," Lisa said. "What do I tell them?" Jack hesitated. "Tell them we're engaging. Let's see what this old girl can do." As they approached the alien fleet, the ship's weapons systems activated automatically. Beams of golden light shot from ports along the hull, cutting through 2 alien vessels with ease. The remaining alien ships immediately broke off their attack on the Mars station and turned toward the ancient vessel. "They recognize this ship," Dr. Mills said, watching the aliens' reaction. "Look how they've changed formation." The alien vessels surrounded them, but instead of attacking, they held position. A transmission came through, not in any human language, but somehow the ship's computer translated. "Guardian vessel detected. Surrender the key or face destruction." Lisa looked at Jack. "The key? What are they talking about?" Before Jack could respond, the ship's defense systems activated. A shimmering field surrounded the vessel just as the aliens opened fire. Their weapons, powerful enough to destroy modern human ships, dissipated harmlessly against the shield. The ship's computer displayed a message: "Defense Protocol Alpha engaged. Awaiting Guardian authorization." Jack placed his hand on the console, and to everyone's shock, the ship responded, scanning his palm. "DNA sequence recognized. Partial Guardian lineage detected. Emergency protocols enabled." The ship's weapons fired again, more precisely this time, disabling rather than destroying several alien vessels. The remaining ships retreated, jumping to faster-than-light speeds. As the crew tried to process what had happened, Dr. Mills made a startling discovery in the ship's database. "Jack, according to these records, this ship, and others like it, once protected Earth. And these aliens, they've been here before." Tom pointed at the screen. "There's something else. These aliens aren't the real enemy. They're running from something worse." Jack stared at the retreating alien ships. "And whatever they're running from, it's coming our way." Earth Command ordered Jack's team to bring the ancient ship to the orbital defense platform above Earth. Scientists and military leaders gathered to examine the vessel that had single-handedly turned the tide of the first battle. "They're calling it the Guardian now," Lisa told Jack as they watched dozens of specialists board the ship. "You're a hero." Jack shook his head. "I didn't do anything. The ship fought on its own." Dr. Mills approached with a tablet showing DNA test results. "Not entirely on its own. I've confirmed what the ship's computer detected. You have genetic markers that match stored profiles in the ship's database. Somehow, you're related to whoever built this vessel." Jack stared at her in disbelief. "That's impossible. My family has lived in North America for generations. We're not aliens." "Perhaps they weren't aliens," Dr. Mills suggested. "Maybe they were human, or were related to them." Their conversation was interrupted when the ship's main computer activated without prompting. A holographic figure appeared, a tall, stern-looking man in unfamiliar uniform. Though the image flickered, its voice came through clearly. "Guardian protocol fully activated. Genetic lineage confirmed. I am Admiral Ben Reed, last commander of the Guardian fleet. If you're seeing this message, the harvesters have returned." The crew gathered around as the message continued. Admiral Reed explained that 300 years ago, Earth had been part of an advanced human civilization spanning several star systems. The Harvesters, a race that consumed worlds for resources, had nearly wiped them out. In a last desperate move, the survivors hid their most powerful warship on Earth's moon, wiped most evidence of their advanced technology, and established genetic safeguards to pass down specific DNA markers through generations. "We could not defeat them, only delay them," Admiral Reed's message continued. "We scattered to colony worlds, regressed our technology to avoid detection, and prepared for the day they would return. The Guardian contains all our remaining knowledge and weaponry. Those with the lineage, our descendants, can access its full power." The hologram looked directly at Jack. "If you're seeing this, you carry our blood. The ship is now yours to command. You must find the other Guardians, 7 ships we hid throughout the solar system. Together, they form humanity's last defense." As the message ended, the ship hummed with new energy. Previously dark sections lit up, and new control interfaces appeared. Dr. Mills examined the new data flowing across screens. "Jack, the ship is fully awakening now. It's showing locations of the other hidden vessels." Tom pointed at another screen. "And it's detecting something massive approaching from beyond Neptune, much larger than the alien fleet we encountered." Earth Command immediately organized a mission to recover the next Guardian ship, hidden in Saturn's rings. Jack would lead the mission, while the scientists continued studying the awakened vessel. Before departing, Jack stood alone in the ship's command center, coming to terms with his new reality. He wasn't just a random commander anymore, he was part of a bloodline specifically preserved to fight this war. The ship displayed images of the approaching threat, a massive vessel that dwarfed even the Guardian, surrounded by hundreds of smaller craft. According to the ship's calculations, they would reach Earth in 12 days. "Commander Porter," Lisa called from the doorway. "The team is ready to depart for Saturn." Jack nodded, still staring at the enemy images. "Do you think we can do this? Find all 7 ships and learn to use them in less than 2 weeks?" Lisa studied his troubled expression. "You activated this ship without training. Whatever connection you have to it, it's real. If anyone can do this, it's you." Jack took a deep breath. "Then let's find the rest of our fleet." As they prepared to leave, Jack couldn't help wondering how many other people on Earth carried the Guardian lineage without knowing it, and whether they would discover their heritage in time to save humanity. The journey to Saturn took less than a day thanks to the Guardian ship's advanced drive system. As they approached the ringed planet, Jack felt an odd sensation, almost like the ship was guiding him. "There," he said, pointing to a section of the outer rings. "It's hidden there." Their sensors showed nothing unusual, but when they moved closer, a distortion appeared. A massive ship, nearly identical to the first Guardian, materialized as they approached. "Some kind of cloaking technology," Dr. Mills observed. "It's been hiding in plain sight for centuries." Unlike the Lunar Guardian, this ship wasn't dormant. As they approached, its systems activated and a communication channel opened. A holographic woman appeared, her uniform matching Admiral Reed's from the previous message. "Guardian 2 acknowledges approach of Guardian 1. State your identity and purpose." Jack stepped forward. "Commander Jack Porter, Earth Defense. We've come to activate Guardian 2 against the returning Harvester threat." The hologram studied him. "Genetic verification required." After Jack provided a DNA sample, the hologram's demeanor changed. "Guardian lineage confirmed. I am Captain Jane Lee, AI custodian of Guardian 2. All systems are operational and ready for integration." As Captain Lee briefed them, the crew learned more about their ancient enemy. The Harvesters weren't just aliens, they were a machine-organic hybrid species that literally consumed planets, breaking them down for raw materials and energy. 3 centuries ago, they had destroyed 5 human colony worlds before the Guardian fleet had managed to drive them back. But we lacked the firepower to defeat them permanently, Captain Lee explained. Our civilization was too damaged to continue the fight. The Guardian Council made the difficult decision to hide our remaining technology and allow human society to rebuild naturally, preserving only the genetic keys that would activate our weapons when the harvesters inevitably returned. While examining Guardian 2's systems, they made a disturbing discovery. This ship had been monitoring deep space, and had recorded the harvesters' destruction of 3 other civilizations over the past 3 centuries. "They've grown stronger," Tom said grimly, reviewing the footage. "More ships, more advanced weapons." Dr. Mills studied the technical data. "But so have the Guardians. These ships have been self-improving while dormant, analyzing the harvesters' evolution and adapting. With Guardian 2 activated, they received the precise locations of the remaining 5 ships, 1 in Jupiter's atmosphere, 1 on Mars, 1 hidden in an asteroid, 1 beneath Earth's ocean, and 1 orbiting the Sun, disguised as a comet. Earth Command divided their efforts, sending teams to each location. Jack would take Guardian 1 to find the ship on Mars, while Lisa would command Guardian 2 to retrieve the Jupiter vessel. Before separating, they received a transmission from Earth. The alien fleet they had encountered earlier had returned, this time with a message: "We seek alliance against the harvesters. We too are survivors of their hunger." The aliens called themselves the Remnant, the last survivors of a civilization consumed by the harvesters 50 years ago. They had been tracking the harvesters' movement toward Earth, hoping to warn humanity. "Can we trust them?" Tom asked. "We don't have a choice," Jack replied. "We need all the allies we can get." As they prepared to split up, Jack accessed Guardian 1's historical database and found images of Earth from 3 centuries ago, a gleaming, advanced world with cities unlike anything in their history books. It was strange to think that humanity had once reached such heights, only to forget it all. 9 days until the harvesters arrive, Lisa reminded him. "We need to find those ships fast." Jack nodded, still processing everything they'd learned. "Humanity built these Guardians once. We can learn to use them again. We have to." 7 days before the harvesters' arrival, 5 Guardian ships had been recovered and activated. Only 2 remained, the one disguised as a comet orbiting the Sun, and the one hidden beneath Earth's Pacific Ocean. Jack led the mission to retrieve the underwater Guardian, piloting a smaller craft from Guardian 1 through the depths. What they found wasn't just another warship, it was different from the others. "This isn't a battleship," Dr. Mills said as they explored the sleek, spherical vessel. "Look at these systems, they're designed for energy manipulation on a massive scale." When activated, the ship's AI identified itself as the core, the central component that would unite all 7 Guardians into one functioning system. "The 7 ships are not merely a fleet," explained the core's holographic interface, taking the form of an elderly scientist. "They are components of a single weapon, one capable of ending the harvester threat permanently." The core revealed the true purpose of the Guardian ships. When united, they could generate an energy field that would disrupt the harvester's unique molecular structure, breaking down their technology and biological components without harming other forms of life. "Our ancestors couldn't deploy this weapon because the harvesters attacked before all components were completed," the hologram explained. "Now you have the chance they never had." As the core integrated with the other Guardians, their combined systems revealed a startling truth: the final ship, the Comet, wasn't just another component. It contained the accumulated knowledge of human civilization before its fall, preserved to help rebuild after the harvesters were defeated. "We have 6 of 7, Jack told Earth Command. "One final piece to recover." But as they prepared to retrieve the last Guardian, the remnant allies sent an urgent warning: the harvesters have changed course. They're not waiting. They're coming now. The harvesters arrived at the edge of the solar system with a fleet that darkened space itself, thousands of ships surrounding a massive central vessel that dwarfed even the combined Guardian fleet. "We need that final ship," Jack said as Earth's combined forces prepared for battle. The remnant allies positioned their vessels alongside the 6 Guardian ships, while Earth's conventional fleet formed a defensive line around the planet. Dr. Mills had determined that without the 7th Guardian, they could still activate the weapon, but its effect would be temporary, merely stunning the harvesters rather than defeating them permanently. It's our only option, Jack decided. We'll hit them with what we have, then use the opening to retrieve the final ship. As the harvester fleet approached Mars, the battle began. Conventional weapons proved nearly useless against the massive enemy ships. The Guardians and remnant vessels fared better, their advanced technology allowing them to target weak points in the harvester armor. Jack coordinated from the core, which now controlled all 6 Guardian ships as a single unit. Prepare the primary weapon, he ordered. Target their command vessel. The Guardians moved into formation, arranging themselves in a hexagon with the core at the center. Energy flowed between them, building to levels that made sensors overload. Weapon charged at 83% capacity, reported the core's AI. Without the 7th component, full effectiveness cannot be guaranteed. The harvesters seemed to recognize the threat. Their entire fleet turned toward the Guardian formation, weapons charging. We don't have a choice, Jack said. Fire now. A blinding pulse of energy erupted from the Guardian formation, spreading in a wave that engulfed the nearest harvester ships. Where it touched, their hulls began to disintegrate, breaking apart at a molecular level. But as predicted, the effect wasn't complete. The harvester command ship remained intact, though damaged, and was now moving directly toward Earth. The weapon needs time to recharge, the core announced. Estimated time, 3 hours. We don't have 3 hours, Jack said grimly. We need that 7th ship. As the massive harvester command ship approached Earth, Jack made a desperate decision. I'm taking the core to retrieve the final Guardian, he announced. The rest of you need to slow them down. Despite objections, Jack piloted the core away from the battle, racing toward the sun where the 7th Guardian orbited disguised as a comet. The ship's systems guided him, drawn to its missing component like a magnet to metal. When he reached the comet, the core automatically docked with the dormant vessel. Immediately, both ships transformed, merging into a new configuration. Knowledge flooded into the ship's database, the complete history of humanity's first civilization, their technological achievements, and most importantly, the full specifications of the Guardian weapon. System integration complete, announced the ship. Guardian protocol finalized. As Jack raced back toward Earth, he watched in horror as the Harvester command ship began its attack on the planet. Massive energy beams tore into the atmosphere, beginning the consumption process that had destroyed so many worlds before. Jack pushed the merged Guardian to its limits, arriving just as the situation seemed hopeless. The remaining Guardian ships automatically moved to join with his vessel, clicking into place like puzzle pieces forming a massive new ship, the completed Guardian weapon. All systems online, the ship announced. Full capacity achieved. The Harvester command ship turned its attention to this new threat, but too late. Jack activated the weapon, and this time, the energy pulse that emerged was different, more focused, more powerful. It struck the Harvester fleet like a tidal wave of light, not just damaging but completely unraveling their molecular structure. In minutes, the entire Harvester force was gone, dissolved into base particles. In the aftermath, as humanity celebrated, the core's AI displayed a final message from their ancestors: the Guardians were never just a weapon. They are the seeds from which humanity will grow again, reaching further than before. The knowledge we preserved will guide you to the stars once more. Our legacy is now yours. Jack looked out at Earth, knowing that while one chapter of human history had ended, another, greater one, was just beginning.